This is How to Teach Social Studies, Introducing the First Amendment. What's the problem? Most students are aware that the First Amendment purports to protect liberties like speech. What students typically fail to grasp is how fought over the First Amendment really is. Our rights grow and shrink over time due to politics, current events, etc. And this is a metaphor you can give your students. You can either give them a worksheet or you can read it out loud and then have a class discussion and definitely, as always, get them to write their answers down and grade them. One day you decide to cross a river. A sign on the river says, "Feel free to cross. Safe passage is guaranteed." What we're getting at here, this is very much like the First Amendment. It's ink on paper, I guess, and here it's ink on wood. The river is moving quite quickly, and if you fall in, you'll surely die. To help you cross the river, there is a rickety old bridge made of rotted wood that is about to fall apart. The bridge is only wide enough for one of your feet, so you must walk it like a tightrope. On the way across, the bridge shakes numerous times. At one point, a large piece of the bridge falls into the water just seconds after you've crossed it. Halfway across, a large bird flies into you and nearly knocks you off. As you're almost there, a large fish jumps out of the water and almost bites your foot off. You finally make it. And this is the question you want to have for class discussion. At the end of all this, your friend tells you, "It's so nice to have this safe bridge that we get to cross every day. I know it's safe for two reasons. First, the sign tells me so, and second, we made it safely across with our lives." What is wrong with your friend's statement? So that's the metaphor you want to do to introduce your class discussion. So where are we going with this metaphor? What's our explanation? Like nearly everything in life, you want to tell your students that our rights are guaranteed under our rights granted under the Bill of Rights are not matter-of-fact guarantees. The Constitution is literally only ink on paper. Rights come not just from writing, but the interpretation and enforcement of that writing. It is up to the courts and subsequently the executive branch to decide whether or not what rights citizens have and do not have by deciding the outcome of and then enforcing specific case-by-case determinations. To say things as simple as "we have the freedom of speech" overlooks all the specifics and conflicts it took to get those rights and how easily they could be taken away. So when you do this metaphor, it's really important. Students will say, "But yeah, have there ever been a case where Americans have had their rights taken away?" And you're going to say, "Yes, there's actually, we're going to read dozens of cases where that actually happened." And it's not just extreme cases either. For example, of African Americans having their rights taken away during slavery. It's going to be, even people who were considered full citizens at the time. There are many things you just can't do that the students are going to disagree with. So this metaphor gets them thinking that just because something's written down doesn't mean it's a guarantee. It's again how something you want to impart to your students is how it's interpreted by courts and then ultimately implemented or executed by the executive branch.